So grateful to the many faces I see in front of me this particular Shabbat.
I'm so sorry.
No worries, no worries.
She's rolling her eyes going, oh.
I know, right? I'm doomed. These are the people helping me. I'm in bad shape. Shabbat Shalom. As I was saying, I'm so grateful to the many faces that are out there. I still think back to those days in the pandemic when I was staring at a screen, wondering how we would ever get through it. Would we ever be able to see each other's faces again and thereby recognize the goodness of God? We are all manifestations of all that is good and is right with the world. And so this particular poem by Alden Salvi called Shabbat settles on Jerusalem. Shabbat settles on Jerusalem like a dove, gliding on silent wings. Shabbat settles in my heart, a lover with open arms, embracing my soul with song, wrapped in quiet breathing. I send blessings into the world, light, bread, prayers of peace. Jack, are we online? Perfect. Our opening song, Sanctuary, reminds us that this vessel that we have been given, we make choices. It either houses the divine or it houses our trickier bits. And to tune in to those places where we are truly divine, it means we reach out to other and we try to help where we can. Lord, prepare me, be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Pikuli, Sharet Sadak, Odea, Ba'asuri, Veshachanti, Betoha. Lord, prepare. Be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Va'asuri mikdash v'shahanti b'toha va'anan nevareh me'ata ve'arolah. Lord, prepare to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you, a sanctuary for you, a sanctuary for you. It is a pleasure to invite up Josie's grandma Kit, as well as Josie's mom, Rana, as we kindle the Sabbath life. Stand right
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen.
We continue on page 123 with Kiddush, and I invite you to rise physically or spiritually. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei beri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratza banu, v'shavat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziyat Mitzrayim, ki lanu v'harta ve'otanu kidashta mikol V'shavat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabat l'chaim. You may be seated. Page 142, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zecher v'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
On page 144, you'll find the beginning of the end, the Chatzi Kaddish. Ruthie, I'm going to bring it up a few octaves from the Shalom
I'm
Aleichem.
so sorry.
No worries. I needed the jaws of life to lift me out of that song, so...
Amen.
בחייכון וביום נכון ובחיי בכל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמרה ולברה לעלם היה יתברך יראה וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ותדע ותעלה ותעלה שמי דקדושה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבעתה ולהמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו amen. We invite you to rise physically or spiritually on page 146 as our bat mitzvah leads us. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruchu et Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed. Page 148, we read together in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteach sha'arim uvitvuna mashane itim umachalif et hazmanim umesader et hakochavim b'mishmeroteim barakia kirtzono b'reyom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or uma'avir yom umei v'in layla umavdil ben yom uvein layla Adonai tzvaot shmo El chai v'kayam Tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 151. Would you read with me responsively at the bottom? Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives.
What could be truer token of your abiding love
than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Elohi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'divarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha b'derech u'shokbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mizuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et Sotai, Vitem Kedoshim, Lelohem, Ani, Adonai Elohem, Asher Hotzeiti Etchem, Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Leor Lahem, Lelohim, Ani, Adonai Elohem. Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, woo! Ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh velech, nora tehilot oseh velech. Mahutecha ra'u v'necha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe. זה אלי אנו ואמרו, זה אלי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, woo! Ya la la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Thank you for wooing. You can sit down for a minute.
Good job, Louie.
Sometimes I feel like I mortify these B'nai Mitzvah students to the point of distraction, but that's also my job. So, the Vishamru is on page 162. Vishamru is on 162.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's make this a little higher, shall we?
Thank you.
I love you so much. Thank you. Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם בריד עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריד עולם בני ובן בני ישראל
אותי לעולם, לעולם, בני ובן, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי שבת, שבת ויהי נפש.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית
We invite the congregation to rise physically or spiritually as our bat mitzvah leads us in the tefillah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh ha'akol, V'zocher hasdei avot v'imahot, U'mevii geulah l'nei b'neihem, L'ma'an shemo be'ahava, Melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Ata, Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Barachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim, Berofeh Holim, Umatir Asurim, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש, שמך קדוש, וקדוש שמו יום ילוך, סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל HaKadosh. Take a moment to do our own meditations. Maybe you wish to use the words of the prayer book, and of course you may. We'll end up on page 178 if that is your practice, so that we can join together in singing Shalom Rav. And if you just want to concentrate on what's in your heart, please feel free to do that instead.
Shalom. Shalom. Oh, shalom, shalom. Oh, shalom. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom Bimromav. Ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom Bimromav. Ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imerua. Amen, amen, amen. Oh, oh, shalom. Oh, shalom. Oh, shalom, shalom. Oh, shalom.
Seder Kriyat Torah, the Shabbat, the order for reading of Torah, invites us all to rise, and we invite forward Rana, Salzman Josie's mom, to help us open the doors of the ark. Please rise. Se'u she'arim rashehem ve'hinasu betachei olam ve'yavo
Lecha kavod, mi'uze lecha kavod, Adonai tzevaot, u'melech hakavod, Selah.
Shema
kadosh shemo. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avoda ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avoda ve'al gemilut chasadim. ונאמר לפניו שירה חדשה, ונאמר לפניו שירה חדשה, ונאמר לפניו שירה חדשה, ונאמר לפניו שירה חדשה. הללויה, 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 הללויה. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
As the Torah is rest, you may be at rest too. I'd like to invite forward our Torah listeners, Ruth Sider, Susie Clinton. You can follow along with 4, page 723, Parashat Kedoshim. Suze, Ruth.
Oh, okay, we'll go by the Torah. You want to take that with you? Okay. Here we come. Here we are.
Ben to find a spot, and then are you all set? Because that's when it's time. Ready? Are you ready, Ben?
Yes.
He's ready.
Okay. Absolutely.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Al tifnu al ha'elilim Masecha lo ta'asu lachem, ani Adonai Elohechem, v'chi tizbachu zavach shalamim l'Adonai, v'rtzonechem tizbachu. Ayom zivbachem yeachel umimacharat v'hanotar ad yom hashlishi ba'esh yisaref v'im teachel ba'yom hashlishi igul lo yeratzeh V'achlav avona isa ki ad kodesh Adonai chilel v'nichreta hanefesh ahi me'ameha uvkutzerchem et katzer artzechem lo tichaleh ve'atzadcha liksor ve'leket Kitzercha lo telaket, v'karmecha lo te'olel, u'peret karmecha lo telaket, v'ani v'lager ta'atzav otam, ani Adonai Elohechem. Okay.
Translation?
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shalom, Dan.
I do. I have a Devar. Oh, no. I have both a translation and a Devar. Translation. Okay, super. Okay. So, I'll even
Yes,
take a break.
I'll help you.
Okay. Okay. Does everyone have their Chumash? My translation is going to sound a bit different, as the translation and the use of English has changed a bit since the editors of our Chumash produced their work. Do not turn to idols. You shall not cast gods for yourself. I, Adonai, am your God. Okay. So, the Lord said to Moses, saying, and when you sacrifice an offering, a peace offering to the Lord, you shall sacrifice it so it is acceptable to the Lord. On the day you sacrifice, it will be eaten, or the next day. And what remains by the third day will be consumed in fire. And if whatever is left over by the third day is not eaten, it is considered pigul. And pigul is something the Kohen thought of eating past the time permitted or outside of the permitted space. And so as long as it isn't pigul, if it is pigul, it will not be acceptable. One who eats it will bear guilt for having profaned what is holy, and that person, referred to as nefesh, i.e. life or soul, will be cut off from their people. Okay, and when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not reap to the edge or ends of its corners of your field to gather the gleanings. That's what falls off when you cut wheat down, of your harvest. And your vineyard you shall not pick bare, and the fallen grapes of your vineyard, and not the gleanings, you shall leave them for the poor and the stranger. I, the Lord, am your God. Is there time for Devar 2, Captain?
We're going to do the blessing.
Of course, yes, by all means.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Beautiful. Amen. Okay, so we'll do the Misha Berach. Are you in? Were they going to do it? Okay, great.
Our thoughts turn to those who are in need of healing of some kind. They stay in our hearts, and we think of them often. The congregation has been asked, let me say this. If you know somebody who's on this list who is doing better, could you let us know? I just get such a good feeling when I know someone gets to come off this list.
Yes.
Fran Cherek Abramowitz, Aviva Liza, Laura Kina Aronson, Davida Berman, Harvey Bowler, David Burchett, Fegasura Batchaya, Jonah Enbar, Stephen Engelman, Doreen Evans, Eslyn Garb, Phyllis Goldblatt, Don Grandolfo, Rick Gratch, Leah Jones, Carl Colbin, Harold Katz, Jeffrey Krause, Roy Lloyd, Miriam Lyon, Gerald Marks, Eileen McNichols, Jimmy Miller, Sharon Montesi Garskov, Moshe Ben Chava Ben Natan, Irene Noperstack, Lois Pavolon, Aaron Potter, Gary Priest, Rich Reisman, Alan Sanger, Casey Ciengo, Wayne Silverman, Kristen Rouse Skinner, Rob Stein, Tali Stein, Cameron Michael Taft, John Thomas, Avraham Ben Sivia, Yosef Raphael Ben Yehudit. Are there any, I'm sure you're asking, Jack, or would you please ask, maybe it would be a better way, if there's anybody on YouTube land who has the name of someone who would like to be thought of for Mishaberach. But we'll get right back to Jack in a moment. Anybody in our congregation? Go ahead, Sam. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Cantor. Jacoba Batsera.
Thank you. Thank you. Any in the YouTube land? Not at all. We might all have done that. Not a worry.
Mishaberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mishaberach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the ones who blessed our mothers, may the ones who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, 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 and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your love. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mishaberach avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mishaberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
I invite you to rise as we dress our scroll. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la lift it up, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Okay. Well, once again, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'd like to share some words that I came up with on Kedoshim. Parshat Kedoshim contains many laws which we are all free to accept or reject. The benefits of some of these laws seem obvious, while the benefits of some of them do not. Some, or many of these laws, only seem like they were relevant to the ancient Israelites, as they were engaged in pursuits such as growing vineyards. These laws help to make us who we are as a people, a distinct, particular nation, Kedoshim, a holy people. The Torah teaches us that we are a unique people who have a covenant with Adonai in verse Leviticus 20:24 and Leviticus 20:26. Verse 20:24 ends with the words, I, Adonai, am your God, who has set you apart from other peoples. Verse 20:26 says, you shall be holy to me, for I am holy, and I have set you apart from other peoples to be mine. The Torah commentator Rashi states that if you hold yourselves apart from them, you will be mine. But if not, you belong to or become subject to Nebuchadnezzar and others like him. So if we ignore the laws of the Torah, we become like those who are not a part of this special covenant with God. We run the risk of becoming just like those who we might see as abhorrent, ruthless dictators, unrepentant adulterers, even those who would never consider giving anything of any value to charity. We are still a particular people, even though we speak the same language, have the same culture, customs, education, and professional opportunities as those who are not a part of the special covenant that we have with Adonai. The Torah teaches us that our covenant includes special obligations. It's up to us to follow through on them. Okay. Thank you.
I am always struck by how lucky we are as a congregation to have so many learned people like Ruth and Ben who can step in and just soar. Wow, we are so lucky. And you know, Josie, you are one of those people who could lead prayers all day. And I'm so grateful and proud of you and this Shabbat where we get to celebrate you and your mama. On page 586, oh my goodness gracious, 586, you will find Aleinu at the bottom of the page as we invite our bat mitzvah, Josie Salzman, forward to help us chant. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latzet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו כהור המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You may be seated. Our thoughts turn to those whom we have loved and lost in this year and in seasons past, those who we have taken into our hearts with our own. But first, this lovely poem. Ancient One, send light into this darkness and hope into this despair. Send music into this emptiness and healing into this aching heart. Air. All I need is air. A breath to give oxygen to the sadness within. A breath to give voice to the howl in my heart. a breath to set me free. Ancient One, send light into this darkness and hope into this despair. Send music into this emptiness and healing into this aching heart. Our congregation remembers, and would you read the bolded names, which are your family? Okay. Our congregation remembers Anita Abeson, Charles Abman, Deborah Perkel Belinsky, Samuel Berland, Rose Chernoff, Margaret Cole, Bertold Dick, Jacob Doppelt, Sadie Dorff, Herman Drucker, Adeline Dvorkin, Anne Ruth Edelman, Joseph J. Ehrlich, Reba Frankel, Ethel Goldstein, I, Louis Greenberg, Celestine Grossman, Emanuel K. Grossman, Henry Hammer, A.R. Hollander, Harold Huckberger, Mildred Huckberger, Stella Joseph, Moritz Kahn, Bernard M. Marks, Julius Marks, Irving Nathanson, Minna Neiman, Benjamin Oppenheim, Betty Bass Oat, Sylvia Pakin, Sophie Posen, Diana Tiro Salzman, Bertha Scharf, Helen S. Weinberg, Saul Wiener, David Weinstein, Fanny Wenig, Benjamin Wiener, Janet Wiener. I invite you to turn to page 598, and I'll invite those in mourning to rise first, those who have a yahrzeit, and if it is your custom to now rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Balma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayecho u'v'yomecho u'v'chaye decho Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach leolam u'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shumei de Kudisha Brihu Le'ela min ko birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran be'alma v'imeru.
Amen.
Yehei Shulama Rabba min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mrama Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all of you who are bereaved among us, and let us all say,
Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. Mazel tov to Rana Salzman and all those who love Josie, and to you, Josie, for making this Shabbat happen. Thank you so much to Rue and to Ben, our amazing, amazing helpers today. And our closing song.
Our closing song is one that Josie and I decided together, mostly, sort of. And it's Ani Ve'ata, which is very fitting for tonight's message that both Ben and Cantor are giving us. So if you could turn to page 652. And we can sing Ani Ve'ata. Two, three, four. Ani Ve'ata Nishaneh et ha'olam. Ani Ve'ata Az yavo'u kevar kulam. Amru et ze kodem lefanai, ze lo mishaneh. Ani ve'ata nishaneh et ha'olam. Ani ve'ata ninaseh mehatchala. Yihye lanu ra, ein davar ze lo nora. Amru et ze kodem lefanai, ze lo אני ואתה נשנה את העולם.
I wish you all a day that begins with peace, peace that you can feel in the loving embrace all that surrounds you give off, all that you know. Let for this day be one of letting go. I wish you Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Cantor.